Hey, look, Mum, no computer here, and this is how you circuit bend a Bible. Right, let's get it open. So this is the Wonder Bible. It's rather wondrous, and it's got a lot of packaging. It's rather packaged quite lovely. I hope people stop using cardboard soon, but for now, it's just an annoying thing. Oh, I've got a few things in there. Get rid of that. Recycle it. Always recycle your cardboard. Bubble wrap, keep it for post. Here we go. The Bible, looking beautiful. You've seen that. And then you get a nice book of the actual thingamajiggy. The Wonder Bible audio player. Let's have a read. Oh, it's just a load of codes for all of the chapters. To be honest, John is a good one, I remember.
In the beginning, God created the heavens.
So I'm going to remove this first because we don't need this. Oh!
Matthew chapter 1.
There we go.
The book of the generation of Jesus Christ, the son of David, the son of Abraham.
Fabulous.
And
anyway,
Jacob begat
so
Judas and his
you get what it is. It's an audio Bible that has got all of it stored on an SD card in the side. So it's basically just a very fancy SD card player. But as I found out when I circuit bent the last one, it's not that easy to circuit bend an uncircuit bendable SD card player. So I'll show you how I did that when I get this SD card back in. The last one was in a smaller box. I'm allowing myself a little bit more room and space because the other one was a little messy on the inside. So I'm going to plan out where I'm going to drill the holes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have that over here on this bit of the box. There's a pitch wheel, so I'm going to have that maybe, pitch wheel right there. Let's call that the P for potentiometer. I'm going to have the switch there, nice and spaced out. And there's going to be S for switch. Is that S upside down? I don't know. Then we got a stutter button. And that thing is basically what makes it go. So I'm going to pop that right there. Stutter. Okay. What else do I need? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to work out a couple of holes where I'm going to drill into the back of it. I'm going to put one there and one right there. And then a bigger hole there to allow all the wires to get between. I'm going to go here. Pitch CV. And then there's... I'm going to draw a line. Boop. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh no! 6. Move this one. Skip that. Pop that. So there's 6 there, and then there's going to be 1 for the pitch input. Right. Oh, I've made it too big. Pitch input is going to go. Pitch input's going to go there. It's going to go oddly there. Okay. And now I'm going to have a big jack for the output as well as a little jack. I'm going to have that here. Output. Little jack. And then a power socket. Power. P. Right, okay, enough of this. We're going to drill these really quickly and get on to the next step. All the holes are drilled. No, they're not. Got one more. Boom! Rough it up a bit. Beautiful. Right, time to give it a quick clean, and now I'm going to go and spray paint it out there because I don't really like the smell of spray paint anymore. I don't think it's particularly healthy. So, I'll see you in a sec. I didn't really think that through. I've got paint all over my hands, but whatever. So this is now spray painted, looking lovely. I put it on the heater to kind of cure it, but I have a feeling it's gonna get scuffed a bit. I'm not being sentimental. I'm just gonna build it. If it gets a little scratch, then whatever. Anyway, the next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do a little bit of a doodle. Yeah! Okay, right, that's done. So we've done, I've already scuffed it. I've already scuffed the paint, it's fine. It'll add to the look. The first port of call is removing the battery because we don't need that anymore. In fact, the funny thing is, this, we don't actually use much of it. It's basically uncircuit bendable. It's really impossible to do. And all this thing is an SD card reader. So you've just got an SD card with loads of audio files of the thing, and then you type in the audio file that you want. That's all the Wonder Bible is. So I felt it was fine and justifiable to be able to take the electronics from here and actually get another SD card player called the WAV trigger. That's what it is, that's what it looks like. It's beautiful. And this thing is very circuit bendable. Actually, there's no videos on how to circuit bend this, so we're gonna actually look at circuit bending this. It's very interesting, but first we're gonna take this thing apart. The only screw that's on it that holds it together behind this lovely looking screen protector. So I'm gonna remove this screw. This is just, the problem with modern technology is it's just not made to be repaired. If this thing breaks, you're basically screwed. Hey, it's as simple as that. Actually, that wasn't that hard at all. So let's time to remove the battery terminals. Don't need that. Take the battery out actually, which is actually a very nice battery. I don't know, it's huge and blue and rechargeable, but I'll keep that for another time. Yeah, I spent like a couple of days feeling around on this circuit board and found absolutely nothing. It was a desert for circuit bends. So it just made me realise that this is why nobody's circuit bent them before, because people have obviously tried and failed because it's very hard to do so. So I'm going to destroy the circuit between there and there, so the screen no longer is connected. Like so. Watch your fingers now. What a beauty. You beauty. Get the these switches, which are actually momentary switches, so they don't stick. They literally just like, you push it and it bounces back. Boop, 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 boop. Right, so we've got 3 switches on the Bible. That is going to select between chapter 1, chapter 2 and chapter 3. Forwards and backwards. So that's exactly what the last one was doing, so I'm just basically building it again. Beautiful. Right, so now we've got the holes at the back. All we need to do with this part is literally just mount it. Drop some bolts in, M4 bolts. Make it nice and tight so it never comes off, ever. Okay, so we've got this. It's got a hole for where all of the wires are going to go through from the Bible to the back of the machine. The speaker is going to be connected to the LED screen as well as the speaker output on here. So this is going to drive both the speaker and the LEDs. So I need to get some wires coming from here into this. So I'm quickly just going to solder a wire going to each of these middle ones and then all of these bits. So let's go. So I've quickly made this ribbon cable set, which I'm going to... it's got all the colours of the rainbow, 8 wires in there, and that is going to wire up to these. Right, so I have now soldered this lovely set of wires that are all rainbow coloured and very beautiful onto the momentary switches that are on the Bible. These are going to go over to the main circuit down below. So as you can see now, I've actually just soldered some more wires to the speaker and to these 2 little dots which are on the back of the LED display to make it kind of stutter in time with what you're hearing. Now it's time to put this into here. I'm not going to clip it in because there might be a mistake, so I'm just going to put these through here. Oh, I'm a plonker. I'm an absolute plonker. So this whole battery bay is right underneath where the actual speakers need to go. So I've got to cut it off. No time to waste. Let's get the Dremel out. Oh, so much for not scratching that paintwork. Yeah, we're good. We're good. So I'm just going to leave it like that now. I'm not actually going to clip it in because I might have made a mistake. So we're just going to turn it around now and start concentrating on the underside. So the underside is basically going to be this thing, which is a Sparkfun WAV trigger, which is basically a SD card player, but it's different to this SD card player because I can actually circuit bend it. And there are a few interesting circuit bends you can do with this. So now it's time to add the mounting pillars, which are actually just PCB standoffs you can get. There's a link in the description of all the parts and where you can buy them, but this is basically something that stands off circuit boards from the enclosure. So I'm going to pop these in like so. So this is the WAV trigger, and there's a couple of good like things you can do with it. This top little resistor next to the SD card reader is actually where I put the stutter bend. And what that does is if you send that to ground, it confuses the microprocessor and basically makes it stick on that same sample that is going into the microprocessor because it's not reading anymore. So it's a good little bend. And then the other bend is on this crystal, which is actually where we're going to add another mini circuit, which is very interesting, called the LTC-V2 from Circuit Benders. And this is basically a high precision oscillating circuit with a little chip called the LTC-17999999, just 2 9s I think. And that is going to solder straight to this, and this is going to be the clock instead of this, which is the crystal on the circuit. So these two things together are going to make this very expressive. So I'm going to solder these 2 wires. The white one is going to be the stutter and the brown one is going to be the pitch, and both of these are going to go over to switches for both of those things. So I'm going to solder the white one, which was the stutter, onto the resistor that I said about, which is the second one down from the top, and it's the side of the resistor that is closest to the SD card slot. And if you want to do it straight away, just take the other end of the wire and pop that on the ground, and it will start just, you know, jumping out and freezing on that part of the sample that was last played. Next thing is to get the brown wire and solder it onto the top of this crystal, and then that will go straight to the circuitbenders.co.uk LTC1799. Right now it's time to load up this full of all of the different parts that we need. Oh yeah, so it's all inside this lovely box. As you can see, all of the parts are nicely screwed and placed in, all of the mini jacks and all of the jacks and all of the knobs and switches and all that stuff. So now I'm going to start soldering these wires that are hanging off into their respective places. So I've got a little list of where the coloured wires have gone to. Number 1, which is orange, is wired up to sample number 1 on here, and I'm going to wire that to number 1 on the jack, number 2, and then all of those, and then I'm going to wire the jacks, more wires, off onto this bad boy. So I'm going to go and grab some more wire. How many times can you say wire? I'm going to grab more, and then we'll get on with this. Beautiful. So there we go. This little wire thing is going to connect quite nicely onto this, like so. It isn't hopefully going to fall off, and it's nice and tightly on there, so that's removable now. So we've got the removable connections. Now it's time to hook up the circuitbenders.co.uk LTC1799 little circuit board, and this is the thing that will let us change the pitch because it kind of overtakes the signal from the crystal that is on the WAV trigger. Thanks again, Varka, for this soldering iron. It's pretty damn good. So now it's going from the LTC1799 precision oscillator into this switch right here, and then that is going over to this crystal inside the WAV trigger. And now I'm going to, just to keep it a little bit neater, connect the actual WAV trigger, screw it down. Boom! Here we go. Now I've just got to connect the power from the power socket over to the V-in and ground on the WAV trigger. This means that there's power going to the WAV trigger, because obviously you need power to power this thing. There we go, that's attached. So now we've got power. So this is a good time to test it. There's one more little bit of circuit after this, but let's see if it works first and this isn't all just in vain.
God created the heaven and the earth. And the earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep. And the Spirit of God moved.
Right, so I've tested it. I realised there was a bit of a doofus and I didn't actually solder a couple of things correctly. Now it's all working, so have a listen, okay? Oh. It's like the other one. It sounds a little distorted, but that's because I'm going for a really small speaker. But as you can see, it's the same as the other one. It's just playing the same thing.
Darkness was upon the face of the deep, and the
However, I've decided that the 10K didn't go low enough. So I'm sorry, Dead Mouse, but you've got a doofus. This one's automatically better because it goes really low. Have a listen. So it's high. That's really slow. Anyway, the last modification that I will need to do to this to make sure it's all working perfectly is adding the vactrol, which is in charge of going over the top of this potentiometer, so we can add CV control, so you can actually modulate the pitch of it with an external CV source. So let's quickly make a homemade vactrol. So what is a vactrol? It's a means to control things like potentiometers and things that require a different amount of resistance using light. And then you get a light dependent resistor, you stick those together, put them in heat shrink, and then this light lights up the more voltage you put in, and then that automatically makes this resistor go up and down in resistance. So what we need to do is we need to get this LED, find out which one's the longest leg, that's the positive, snip that, and then put a 220 ohm resistor on it. This basically stops the LED from burning out, and you know, just all in all increases the life of the thingamajiggy. Beautiful. And then we need to put these inside this heat shrink, and what this heat shrink is going to do is it's going to make sure it's all staying together and is light tight. No. Oh no, it's fine. That's right up on there. Then get some more heat shrink on this side, shrink it with the heat, hence it's called heat shrink. Then the negative, so we need to solder the positive and the negative straight on to the jack socket. And now the last final thing to the puzzle is soldering the light dependent resistor, which is this side of the vactrol, onto both legs of the potentiometer. As you can see, have a look in there, beautiful. There is one vactrol sitting quite snug and happy on the back of that potentiometer. There we go! My God, it's done! I don't believe it. I've actually done it again and it's worked. So that's how you circuit bend a Bible. You finish by popping the back faceplate on. Anyway, let's plug it back up again. Just double check it works. Awesome! We've got ourselves a working circuit bent Bible. It's got pitch in, it's got triggers for each of the 6 chapter samples, forwards and backwards, and you've got a nice pitch knob and stutter. So there we go. That is how you make your own circuit bent Bible. I've had a lot of people asking if they can have a circuit bent Bible. The answer is probably not, unless you build it yourself, because I'm not too great at it. I haven't got a massive amount of time and I'd rather spend my time making videos than building these things. But I'm going to put this one on eBay starting at 99p right now. Post internationally, that's fine. The link will be in the description. It'll probably be on a 7-day listing, but I'm going to put this on eBay because I need to fund a very, very large project right now that's costing me an arm and a leg. So hopefully this will contribute a little bit towards that. So every penny will go towards this rather large machine that I'm working on, which you'll find out about very soon, and it is very big indeed. So yeah, anyway, that's how to circuit bend a Bible. There is actually samples from the original circuit bent Bible on my Patreon right now. It's been on there for a couple of weeks, but there's like a good like 25 minutes of making loads of random noises and, you know, just jamming out to the Bible. And there's plenty more projects on there as well to check out, and music and stems and samples. I've been Look Mum No Computer, and don't be scared to try it.